Good afternoon. We have been discussing eating disorders in this unit, but today's lesson is going to focus specifically on body image and the effect that body image has on an individual with eating disorders or with an eating disorder. The learning objectives that will be met today, you will be able to define what body image means and how this is related to an individual with eating disorders. We are going to be focusing on the media and how the media may affect somebody's body image. Specifically, we're going to be talking about music. And then finally, you're going to be able to apply your knowledge of eating disorder or about body image and eating disorders, but specifically by presenting a poster campaign that's promoting healthy body image. Okay, and then here in my lesson, I would just take some time to review some of the things that we've talked about in the past lessons about eating disorders, just kind of talk about the signs and the symptoms of the different eating disorders. And then I will begin to explain what body image means. Body image is basically just the way that somebody views their body and how they feel about their bodies. So somebody with a healthy body image is going to be happy with themselves, be content in their bodies, are going to respect their bodies and take care of themselves. So therefore, somebody with an eating disorder probably does not have a very good body image. They actually do not have a good body image because they are obviously not happy with the way they look. They're not happy with their bodies. They do not take care of their bodies. Okay, and then I'm going to go on to explain how body image can impact an individual who has an eating disorder, which basically just goes back to what I was just talking about, and how somebody's body image can definitely influence whether or not somebody is in danger of developing an eating disorder. Okay, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the body image and the media, and just how different things such as models and magazines and movies and such like that could definitely impact the way somebody thinks that they should look, and therefore impacting their body image. Okay, and then I'm going to just begin a brief discussion or class discussion and just ask some questions. So what do you think is an example of somebody with healthy body image? Here I expect the girls to either give me an example of somebody specifically that they think has a healthy body image. They might even say themselves. They might say that they feel that they have a healthy body image and they're happy with the way they look. Or they may just kind of reflect back on what we've talked about in the previous beginning of the lesson about how it just means that somebody is happy with their body. And then I'll do the opposite and ask what they think is an example of somebody that does not have a healthy body image. So once again, they might give an example of someone specifically that they've seen in the media, or someone that they know that they don't think has a healthy body image. And then I'll ask them if they can think of an example of media that may impact the way someone thinks they should look. And so once again, this will just kind of reflect back on what I was talking about and what I taught them about. You can see models in the magazines and women on television and in movies, and the way that they are treated, and then also just different advertisements they might see in the stores or in the mall. And this may definitely make somebody think that, oh, well, I obviously should be looking like that because that's what quote-unquote beauty looks like, and that's what women should look like. But whereas that's not true. If somebody looks like a model, then there's nothing wrong with that. But if somebody does not look like what those models look like, there's nothing wrong with that either. And so we're just going to have a little bit of a discussion about the media and how it could impact that. And then I'll ask if the girls, or if girls are the only people that are affected this way. And I might get a mixture of responses from them. Some girls might think that, oh yeah, girls are the only ones that could possibly be affected. But then there could be other responses that they think boys can be affected too, which is absolutely true. Guys can be just as affected as girls. And then I'll just kind of reflect back on how eating disorders are related to body image. We'll just kind of discuss that a little bit, and just how, once again, eating disorders are an example of how somebody could not be respecting their body and not be happy with the way they look. Okay, and then I'm going to show the class this this chart, just some body image statistics, specifically the very first statistic. It says 80% of women say that the images of women on television and in movies, fashion magazines, and advertising makes them feel insecure. So this will just kind of back up some of the things I was saying about the media and body image in women. Alright class, so for the first activity today, I am going to put you into pairs. And I'll basically just do this by pairing them up, the toe-to-toe method, having them stand up and move around a little bit and just get them each with a partner. So class, you are going to be analyzing music. I would like you to either get on to the internet. You can look through the music that you have on your phone, on your iPod. I'm going to be very lenient about this. Obviously, I don't want any kind of texting or Facebooking, Twittering, whatever the case may be. I want you to be working. And so obviously I will be monitoring this very carefully. But what I want you to do is I want you to be looking for examples of song lyrics that you think could probably affect someone's body image in a negative way. And so once again, I will be monitoring this because I want to keep it appropriate. But there are songs out there that they could find that are appropriate, but that could still affect someone's body image in a negative way. Okay, class, so what I want you to do is just write down the lyrics, and then you will kind of, as you and your partner will just write down the lyrics, and then you will write a little paragraph of explaining why you think that it affects them in a negative way. And then the second part of this activity is I want you to either create your own poem or song lyrics that you think would be beneficial for somebody to listen to or read that could express healthy body image. Or if you do not want to create your own, you can do like what you did with the first part of the activity and just find a song that expresses healthy body image. And do the same thing, just write down the lyrics, whether you make them up or you find them, and then a paragraph explaining why these could express healthy body image or be beneficial for someone to read or listen to. And so the objectives here, we're going to be able to define body image and then analyze the impact of music in the media that has on society's outlook of body image. And so, and then I'm going to give an example of a song that I found. So Don't Ya by the Pussycat Dolls. This is a song that I'm sure all the girls have heard. It's on the radio all the time, or at least it was. It's not a newer song, but anyways, this song is basically, these girls are, they're talking to a guy, and basically just telling the guy that, you know, I know that you wish that your girlfriend looks like me, and so therefore, you know, this could affect someone's body image in a negative way, making them think, well, maybe I need to look like that too. And these girls are all, you know, very model-esque looking women. They are all in like the music video that I'm sure they are able to see. And so therefore, this could affect somebody's body image in a negative way, making them feel insecure about how they look. And then I will give an example of a healthy body image song, Christina Aguilera's song Beautiful. This one's basically just saying that no matter what people say about you, no matter how you look, that you are beautiful, and just basically it's giving just a positive example of body image. And I think it's specifically a good example because Christina has had her ups and downs with her body, and she's been targeted in the media, being called things like plump and tubby. But she still just shows how positive she is about herself. Okay, class, so then for this second activity, I'm going to put you into groups of about 3 or 4, it'll depend on how many total students I have in the class, but I'll basically just count them off 1 through 4, or I guess 1 through whatever, and that will equal groups of 3 or 4. Okay, and then what they're going to do is they're going to be given materials such as poster boards, scissors, glue, markers, and magazines. They will be creating a poster campaign that is going to be promoting healthy body image. So they are going to be asked to come up with some kind of slogan or title, and then they will need some kind of image, whether it is a collage of different images or just one specific image that they are focusing on. This will need to be appropriate once again, so I will be monitoring very closely. And they don't have to use the magazines for images. They can simply draw them on themselves. And then after they are finished, then we will be presenting, each group will present their posters to the class. So the objective that is reached here is that they're applying their knowledge about body image. Okay, and then just some examples that I came up with about slogans. This poster right here, the title says Beautiful Women. Very, short and sweet and to the point. Beautiful women, but then all the pictures here are of all shapes, sizes, and colors, even in ages. Just showing that they are all beautiful no matter what they look like or how, what size they are. And then this is an actual body image campaign by Dove. It says, do you believe that real beauty comes in many shapes and sizes? And then these women are all different shapes and sizes, and they seem very happy and comfortable in their skin. Okay, and in the Howard Gardner multiple intelligences that are reached during my 2 activities, during the music analysis, this is going to allow those students who are musical learners and auditory learners, linguistic learners. That's going to really be beneficial for them into learning about the body image differences. And then for my second activity, once again, it's going to be focusing on those linguistic learners, but also visual and interpersonal, considering that they're doing a lot of interacting with their peers. Okay, class, thank you so much for your participation. You all did a very great job. Tomorrow we are going to be moving on to the next part of the eating disorder unit. We are going to be talking about different diet plans. So what I would like you to do is go home and just kind of maybe look up some examples of diet plans so that you'll be prepared for our activities tomorrow. Thank you so much.